everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Cyber Review. Today, we're talking with Emmanuel Ogu about his book, Cybersecurity for eHealth. He's a trained computer scientist, a chartered IT professional, an advocate for digital rights, freedom, and democracy. Hi, Emmanuel. Welcome. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into cybersecurity?
Okay, so I'm Emmanuel. I have a PhD in computer science where I specialize in cybersecurity. Well, my journey in cybersecurity began as an undergraduate student in the year 2008, 2009, when I was a victim of a malware attack, the Confika malware attack in 2008, 2009. And then my computer was infected with a virus, and I lost all my files. And recovering from that attack, it got me thinking about how all of that was possible, what actions on my part may have contributed to the success of an attack like that, of such an attack. So this got me interested in cybersecurity and information security generally, and this began my journey. I finished my undergraduate studies and continued studying for a master's degree. And then I went forward to have a PhD where I studied specifically malware, like of the variant and order of the Confika malware. Yeah.
Okay, so you are the author of Cybersecurity for eHealth. So tell us, who is this book for?
All right, so this book is a product of many years of having worked and interacted with healthcare professionals and stakeholders working in the healthcare sector. I've provided digital security training in the last 4 or 5 years to healthcare professionals, how to engage in safe cyber activities and how to safeguard their system and digital interests, within an increasingly vulnerable landscape that is, a high target of criminals, as we have seen in recent times. And so much of my interactions with these very erudite minds led to the discovery that even though there was a real threat in the domain of healthcare security posed by the fact that professionals and stakeholders who worked in this sector were not as technically savvy, as technically skilled in the subject of cybersecurity, as many technicians, or as would be expected, and then the fact that the data and the information that they deal with is of very high value. Now this dyad of those two vulnerabilities, or this vulnerable situation that I found in the industry, actually led me to write this book. Following, just putting together all that I have taught and consulted with them over the years to have this resource where they could refer to, and where they could find information to guide their day-to-day operations and inform their day-to-day activities within the cyberspace.
And what is one of the most surprising things you learned writing this book?
Okay, so there were a lot of surprising things. So first of all, the first point of contact was the fact that even though there was this deficiency, this knowledge deficiency on the part of healthcare stakeholders, I also found a lot of policy situations that were contributing, sometimes inadvertently, to some of the dangers and vulnerabilities that I was seeing in this space. And that was why in the book as well I included, I try to cover as many aspects as I can, keeping it as simple as possible, so that the various technicalities that bring the meat around cybersecurity as a practice or as a subject matter does not obscure the key lessons that were important to learn within this landscape. And so I covered areas of personal cybersecurity and policy and system and infrastructure security at a very foundational and fundamental level that allows practitioners and stakeholders in this sector to relate with, using case studies from their industry and using various stories and realities and data from incidents that have happened in the last 2-3 years within the healthcare industry, the global healthcare industry.
So now that you mentioned the stakeholders, can you share a few tips for them and how they can improve their security?
Okay, so the first thing I would say is that security is everyone's business. Of course, it's almost becoming a cliche saying, but it is as
Yeah.
good now as it was, when we first heard about it. It's everyone's business. And oftentimes, what I've seen is that, the naive receptionist at the front desk could be the doorway to undo millions of dollars of cybersecurity expenditure that organizations may have, put in place to prevent or forestall attacks. So I would say to healthcare stakeholders, get the book and read it and apply the knowledge to your daily practice.
Okay, sounds good. So now where can we get the book?
All right, so it's available on Amazon store. It's also available with the publisher of the book on the Routledge bookstore, and various other reputable bookstores online.
Okay, so thank you so much, Emmanuel, for your time. We wish you all the best with this book.
Thank you, Sophia. Thank you.